right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. There we go. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Yes, we are live. So, my fellow traders, welcome to another edition of the live update with your number one market trader, Johnny Howe, coming to you to give you some down home country goodness in the markets today. So let's give it a few minutes, guys. Let everyone welcome to. Let me just double check. Yes, we are. How is that? Alrighty, guys. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Tell me where are you guys coming from? Where are you guys coming from? Please, when you log in, tell me where you're coming from. It'd be good to see where you guys are trading from. But today, guys, I have something awesome to share with you. Something awesome to share with you today, guys. I think most people are wrong, and the next move is going to surprise everyone, right? Even you guys watching the replay, I think this is going to really, really, really educate you on what's coming next and what's actually happening next from these markets here. So I'm really, really, really excited to share with you what I'm going to share with you in this stream today, guys. Because I think this is really going to maybe give you some different perspective on what's going on in the markets here. So, 4 minutes left? Maybe. We'll start earlier. I love that, guys. I love that. It's like I haven't even really started. People like liking. You get like 90% of people come in and they like your video straight away. And then you've got the 10% come in like, this idiot, dislike. That's all right. So, let's get into. Alrighty. Just give it another. What are we up to now? All right, let's give it one more minute, guys, and I'm going to start off with these updates here. I'll make sure you go to johntreegift.com, grab that trading course there, guys. Literally, there's actually, as you can see, there's like 5-6 videos there, bonuses and stuff like that as well too. It's a full detailed trading system, like, guys. It goes for maybe 4 to 5 hours long in total. So if you need some help, it's there. It's there. Get the help, guys. Get the help you need. All right, counting down. Let's guys, if you'd like to get access, that's, by the way, guys, that's Super Trader Formula. That's second link in the description, John's NCF. I've got one spot left for that Super Trader Formula. So make sure you click on that, go get access to it, guys. Got one spot left for that. For this opening anyway. So, all right, cool. Let's actually do this here, guys. Let's actually get into this update now. So I don't want to do this anymore. Don't need to do that anymore. Done all that sort of stuff. Gave it a time. Let's get straight into these markets here. So one thing I was looking at here, guys, and I was actually talking with some of my private clients just recently. And by the way, me and my private clients, guys, oh my goodness. We have just closed out 2 trades, guys. One was just above break even, and the other one was about 80% return on our risk. So me and my private clients, guys, are having another, just not only incredible week this week, another really good successful week, but we're having an incredible year, like a really, really, really incredible year. And the reason why I bring this up is not to say, oh, shut up, John, what a egotistical, whatever. I'm not coming from that place, guys. I'm coming from the place of, I've been doing this for 19 years. So when it comes down to trading these markets successfully, right? Long-term investing, I can help you out with that as well too. But when it comes down to trading the market successfully, what are the best patterns? What are the highest probability patterns? How should you be thinking? How should you be approaching these markets? I can tell you how you approach the markets and how you think about these markets is probably completely wrong. Even my trading setup that I trade, it's absolutely incredible, guys. Okay, so you guys can do this. And just a quick little thing here, guys, okay? I don't want you to quit, okay? I do not want you to quit in these markets. Okay, it's because think about this. You're trying to do what literally only probably a few percent of the population can actually do, and that's make money from these markets. And they're gonna slap you around, and they're gonna drag you down. And at the end of the day, guys, what's gonna happen is that you're probably going to feel lonely. All right, I'm gonna go through this little bit of a talkie, guys. All right, a little bit talkie for a minute. Just give me probably a few minutes to go through this, just to help some people out, and then I'll get into the technicals. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do here. But I think it's important to understand, guys, that success, if you feel lonely, if you feel like, man, this is such a hard thing to do, if you feel confused, right? Then, and if you feel like sometimes like you're getting those slaps from these markets, like, man, like what's going on, right? It's the road to success, to stand above the herd mentality. You're gonna feel like no one gets me. No one gets me, right? And I've had to do that myself for so long. Like I'm a trader. That's what I identify myself as. My even though I'm a coach as well and I have a business around coaching people, I'm a coach, yes, but my number one title that I say is I'm a trader of the markets. That's what I do. And so by looking at that, I've walked around for so long, guys, by saying, nobody really gets me, right? Nobody really understands me. And that's why one of the things I love about YouTube and even doing my community, right, is that, and having my coaching clients and so on and so forth, is because, right, it's because a lot of people out there don't understand what you're doing, right? They think it's gambling, it's risky, and it's all that sort of stuff. Now, yes, if you're approaching the markets the way that most people do, where there's real no plan of attack, there's real no system, you're probably thinking the wrong way, you're probably approaching the market the wrong way. Yes, you're just gambling, right? But there are people out there that do really, 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 really incredible well from these markets. You just got to learn how do they not only trade the markets, but how do they think? How do they use good trade management, right? How do they cut their losses small and all that sort of stuff, right? That goes into it. But you can do it. You really, really, really can do it. And if you ever feel like you're lonely, if you feel like you're the only person there, nobody gets you, right? That means you're on the right path. If you go through the smacks and the ups and downs that these markets are going to give you, and it's going to turn you inside out and turn you on your head and slam you into the brick wall sometimes. That's what these markets will do, especially my initial years. I've been trading the markets now for 19 years, guys, and I'm telling you, my first 5+ years, I went through that. $250,000 in debt, and I had no idea why I was going backwards. And even when I started to learn the right strategies, I still couldn't get it because I was thinking the wrong way. I was approaching the market the wrong way. I had no discipline. I had no patience. I had a good system, but I had all these other things outside the system. No structure, not thinking the wrong way, approaching the market the wrong way. And all this sort of stuff that I had to start to change, my consistency, my patience, my discipline, all this sort of stuff outside the system I had to get sorted to make sure it's good trading. That's what I'm saying, guys, like that it took me a long time to get it. Right? And because I was just like, man, I really want to get this. I'm pulling my hair out here. And that's what I'm saying, guys, if you ever get coaching from me, mark my word, you're getting coaching from someone who's been doing this for 19 years. So I can take the last 19 years and say, listen, this is what we should be doing, this is what we're doing. And I literally take my decades into days for you. But the path of moving forward, it's gonna feel hard. It's gonna feel like you're gonna struggle sometimes. It's gonna feel like, man, like, am I the only person on this path? Right? Am I the only, like, and you're gonna feel like most people just don't get you. And then what's gonna happen is that then things are gonna start to feel weird between you and your friends. Right? Because you're going out there trying something to better yourselves in your life and push and make something happen in your life, where they're too gutless or too afraid to even go out there and try. So there's gonna be people out there that are gonna start to like have negative little comments towards you, like, well, why would you do that for, and blah blah blah, right? It's like, no, it's like, let's support each other, encourage each other. We don't want people bringing people down like that, and that's what's gonna happen. Because as you want to start to rise, and the road to success is a lonely place. The road to success, you're going to feel confused. The road to success, or whatever that actually means, success, right? Because when it comes to success, guys, think about it. You never actually get there, right? Because wherever you are right now, I guarantee you 10 years ago, you'd be like, man, I wish I was, it's like I look at my life right now, and just even 8 years ago or 5 years ago, I look at my life from then. But you guys, that if you ever feel like that, you feel like you're getting smacked around, you feel lonely, you feel down, you feel like you're confused, you feel like you're trying all these different things and systems and processes and indicators, and you're trying to do whatever you can to get ahead in these markets, but you're confused, and you're going backwards, and you're just like, I'm just not sure what's going on here. You're on the right path, because that is the path that everyone takes to understanding whatever they're trying to get good at. Whether it's growing a business, whether it's becoming a really good entrepreneur, whether it's becoming a really good trader of the markets, whether it's becoming a really good long-term investor of the markets. This is the process that everyone takes. But what does social media do, right? What does social media do? Social media shows you what? Oh, look at my Lamborghini. Yeah, it took him 10 years of slugging it out and almost gone bankrupt many times, or maybe they did go bankrupt early on because they blew everything out trying to test everything. But what you see is the Lamborghini. What you don't see is what actually happened behind there, right? Is the journey towards that. Now, yes, you can really shortcut your success. Ninja Max, trading is a waste of time and money. Really, Ninja? Really? Well, I'm having fun. I disagree with that, Ninja. 100% disagree. Firstly, why are you here then for? And then secondly, no, ask me and my private clients. We trade the markets every day, and we're having a phenomenal year this year. Incredible year. We're just coming off 2 trades right now. One was just above break even, so just a small little profit, and the other one was an 80% return on our risk. So that's trading the market. So I wouldn't say that. How you're thinking about it is completely the wrong way, because you can do well. You just got to learn the processes, the systems, the strategies, so on and so forth. And again, in that Super Trader Formula, guys, when I actually personally speak to you on the phone with the Super Trader Formula, that's what I help you out with, right? I give you the formula and the steps you need to take in order to become successful. It's a bit of a blueprint there, a bit of a formula. Anyway, so guys, that is the journey you're going to take, right? This is the journey you are going to take. And you're going to feel like that. But it's natural. This is natural. It is natural. And if you are not feeling like that, if you're not feeling where you're getting cuts, bruises, emotional setbacks, struggle sometimes, right? If you feel like if you don't have any haters, if you don't have any people like looking down on you and giving you narky little comments every now and then, and you're like, why are you giving me narky little comments? We've been best friends for 10 years. Or like one person I know in my life, I've been really close with him for 3 years. But lately he's just been having these narky little comments about me, and I'm like, why is that? It's because who I am as a person, and the light that I shine from going out there and willing to take action and continue to move forward and continue to move forward and continue to move forward, despite my failures, despite my setbacks, despite all that sort of stuff, which is just natural. It's part of the actual process for you to actually becoming really good and the top percent of all people out there. And if you're not getting those setbacks, you're not getting those failures, you're not getting those things that just not working out well for you, and you're not having narky comments, and you're just trying to fit in with everyone, well, guess what? You're not pushing hard enough. You're not stretching hard enough. Because only those who stretch hard enough, you get called the crazy ones. But if you're going through this hard time, guys, one, you can shortcut your success. If you're trying to go at it alone, guys, please don't go at it alone. Learn someone from like me who's taken 19 years to figure this trading game out. How do you really trade the markets? What is the systems that I trade myself? And not only that, because that's only a small percent of it. How do I think about my trading? How do I approach my trading? How is the flow of success throughout the year really? Not what I think based off what I'm doing. Because if you're going at it yourself, right, and you're just trying everything based off what a YouTube video says, well, guess what? You're guessing, right? What you want to do is the shortcut to your success is model success. That's when everything changed for me personally. You know, my first probably close to 10 years out of my last 19 years, I was still struggling. 5 years I started to get it, but after that, I was still struggling. Like I just couldn't get it, right? Because I was thinking in the wrong way. I was approaching the market the wrong way. I thought successful full-time trading meant one thing, but it was actually the opposite. But the opposite actually made me more money. And so I had to really consider this and think about this of how I was actually trading the markets. And it wasn't until I actually got access to 2 7-figure traders that they showed me what they're doing and how to approach it. I started to slowly change the way that I thought about these markets, how I approached these markets. And then from that, I had less trades, more income, and everything took off from there. So guys, don't be going at it alone, okay? Find someone. If it's me you really resonate with, come on down, get that super trader formula. I actually personally speak to you on the phone and I'll walk you through that formula to show you what is the exact formula that you need to do out of that. But your starting process, guys, is don't be guessing and so on and so forth. If you really want to take a couple of decades into days, like we're not talking about just buying an educational program. Let me learn how to read the charts. No, if you really like someone like me, do whatever you can to become part of their coaching program where you can actually get access to them personally. Not a coach, right? Not a support team, anything like that. No. How do I get access to this person personally on a continuous basis so therefore I can move forward? But the whole purpose of me saying this, guys, is that if you feel like anything I've said here today, you're actually on the right path. You feel lonely. You feel like no one gets you. You feel like this is actually really hard. You feel confused. You're actually on the right path, guys. Because it's this path that every successful person out there goes through to eventually become the top 1%. But even when you become the top 1%, guess what? You still have to work hard. You're still going to get the haters. You're still going to have those moments where you're a bit confused, where you're not sure what the next step is. Like, oh, I'm not quite sure here, right? And you still go and then every year you're still going to have some setbacks. It might be personal, it might be something else, right? You go through these, but when you're doing that, it just shows you that you'll keep pushing. You're not just settling. You're not going in your comfort zone, right? And because it's only those people who end up going through those setbacks, that shows me that you are pushing, that you are trying to move forward, that you are moving forward. And this is the journey. This is the natural journey that everyone goes through, right? Even myself, I'm going gray right now, guys, you know, and I'm going gray right now. And I've been doing this now for almost 20 years. I said 19 years now this year because of everything. But now it's only the last probably, again, 9 years. 9 years has been really good for me, but especially the last 5 or so, you guys, everything has clicked for me. And it's taken me that long to finally get it. What are the systems and the patterns and the processes and the thinking strategies and how I approach these markets? What is the whole wrap? What is the whole package through there? And so I want to talk about that first, guys, because I believe a lot of people believe that they think, I want you to understand, guys, that if you are feeling like what I've just talked about, lonely, confused, you're not sure, you don't feel like anyone gets you, you don't feel like you actually could talk about trading because they say it's all gambling and stuff like that, they just don't get you, right? They just don't get you. They just don't really understand that there, right? But just for you guys, just to neutralize your process, that is the journey towards you becoming great at something. Getting confused, getting smacked, getting knocked down because you're going out there and you're trying. That is the thing. Most people don't try at all. They just sit on their fat asses and whinge and whine and complain and not do anything at all. So therefore, nothing ends up happening for them. But because you are getting those smacks, because you are getting those setbacks, because you are feeling lonely, you feel like there's no one out there getting you, you are getting your friends looking down on you saying, why are you doing that stuff for? You should stop doing it and all this sort of stuff. Trust me, guys, I've had it. I've had it many times and I'm having it again right now where I'm having to go through another stage in my life of moving away from people that just don't get it, right? They don't get it and they don't get you. And this is the natural path for you guys to doing really well out of the markets. So if you are on this journey, guys, the path to success is a lonely path. Now, on the flip side of what I just said there, it's not all bad news, because along that path, you're going to have self-discoveries. You're going to have people come into your life. You're going to have experiences, trading opportunities, financial abundance, more than anything you've ever experienced in your life, because you're doing that. That's the good side of it. And if you keep talking, and if you the raw hoax, send me all your shorts and you get my longs. What? Do you even understand what trading is all about? He's talking about his feelings. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Okay, well, yeah. Well, let's actually talk about, let's actually stop thinking about yourself right now. All right. The real oryx, right? Let's stop thinking about yourself right now. Throw your ego out the window. This is about people that most people on this journey are called trading and what they're going to go through. And so let's actually talk about them, and let's actually just support and help them and understand and neutralize their journey as they're trying to become really, really good at this thing called trading. And if you don't like that, you can nick off and not come here, okay? This is about service and supporting people to make them understand the processes and the journeys and what they're going to go through, so they don't feel alone. So, that whole thing about that guys, is that as what I said before, right? The flip side is that you're going to go through struggles and setbacks and loneliness and it's all that sort of stuff. But as you continue moving forward, and as you keep getting better, and as you keep getting better, and as you keep getting better, the experiences you have, the financial success that you get, the people that you meet, the events, the events that you get to go to, even the private events, right? Because now you can, right? You can actually do that, and then the experiences and all that sort of stuff is on the other side. So guys, please, if I'm going to get into the technical analysis stuff now, but I wanted to start off with that, and I went a bit longer, but I just feel so many people out there, especially today, right? They look at YouTube, say, "Oh, I just made $1 million on a trade." What they don't tell you is they just spent 10 years screwing it all up. But what they don't show you, and I know many channels out there say, "Look, I just made $30,000 this month." But what they don't show is the next month they lost all that plus more. So just be wary of that. That's why, guys, I very rarely talk about numbers. Like, "Oh, look, I made $1 million last year," or "I just made $100,000 this week," right? And now, yes, anyway, the whole purpose of me saying that, guys, is that it's not about that, right? Just be careful of that, but also understand the journey from there. So let's get into to the technical analysis side of things, guys. Okay, technical analysis side of things. What you want to do, guys, is the big thing here is this: is that one thing I'm looking at the actual stock market itself is this. Is that this is the weekly chart looking at the S&P 500, right, guys? And the thing is this: this S&P 500 chart. Look what's happening here. We're actually in a very, 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 very predicament time in these markets, right? A predicament time in these markets. So what is actually happening is that what is actually happening here is we're getting a period where it's like, which way does it go? Because if we continue to break above here, this is the S&P 500. If we continue to break above this 4,200 level right here, we are going to see an incredible move to the upside. And that's why I titled this, "I think most are wrong, and the next move will surprise you." Because most people are not expecting that sort of a move to come this year, because it makes no sense. Maximum pessimism out there right now. By the way, when a bottom's made in the markets, go back and look at history, we're maximum pessimism markets, right? So maybe we're at that maximum pessimism right now, and everyone's talking about the crash and all this sort of stuff, right? Maybe, just maybe, the opposite is going to happen, right? Again, guys, this is part of me of saying it's not what I think, not what I hope for. I'm just looking at the market and saying this actually is a very possibility. But if we end up breaking below this level here, which is that 3,800 level, guys, we end up breaking below this on the weekly charts, and we do hold it and break down, then we're probably going to go through a really, really, really big drop. So it's like, where do we break out from here? Right now, today, we actually held strong through here. And as you know, my videos for the last week or two have been actually now more bullish than bearish because the market is changing the tune. So right now, the next move, we could be getting ready for an extraordinary bull run in the stock market. Extraordinary bull run. And the reason why I say that, guys, is that because if you notice, if you've seen my videos in the past, I talk about this a lot. When the market goes quiet like that, right? When the market goes quiet like this, we end up getting really, really, really big moves, right? Just even look back here when Donald Trump became elected. Look at this here. Look at this here. When the market goes quiet, this was actually for many years. When the market went quiet for many years, what ended up happening to the stock market? Right? What do? We actually went through a big move up, right? So when we go quiet for a while and then we start to break out, we tend to go for a really, really, really nice move in the markets. And maybe, just maybe, all the pessimism out there, and all the negativity out there right now is telling that, hey, maybe we're getting very, very close to the bottom right now. Right? Maybe we are getting very, very close to a bottom right now in the actual markets. So by looking at this here, by looking at a bit more of a closer up view on this weekly charts, that if we start to get a nice break above that 4,200, we can actually see that this move through here could be a massive bottoming pattern, real massive bottoming pattern, before we start to make a really extraordinary move for quite some time. So let's go look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones, guess what? The exact same thing's happening on the Dow Jones, right? Again, what happened? Look at this here. Sideways for overall for a long time. When we broke out, we went for what? We actually went for, what was that? A 40% move in just over 1 year. Haha, 11, baby. Right? So guys, the big thing we want to say here, guys, is what I'm trying to point out here, guys, is this. When there's maximum pessimism in the markets, we generally actually do find bottoms. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of pessimism out there, right? There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of people crash stock market, blah, 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 right? All that sort of stuff. I'm saying I think most people could be wrong, and we're getting ready for not only a big crash, but a big boom again. And it makes no sense, right? When did the market start to really bottom out in 2008? It was just after the banking collapse, right? Lehman Brothers and so on and so forth. Now, it wasn't that time. Right? It wasn't that time, but it wasn't exactly that time, but within a few months or more, the market started to bottom at that time after the whole Lehman Brothers collapsed. And then the market started to pick back up. So that's the reason why, guys, it's so important. That's the reason why, guys, it's so important that we continue to read these markets and reading what I call like simple trend analysis. Because I've talked about this here before. My market updates, as you've seen, have been talking about how we're getting a pullback. We're probably going to get a breakaway soon. I actually expected a bit more of a pullback out of the markets here, but that's the Dow Jones as well too, right? We could be getting ready for an extraordinary quality bull move out of the markets here. So I would not be too surprised, guys, if we actually do get that and rip most people's faces off, because I guarantee you most people are looking for the crash right now. Most people are short these markets, thinking it's going to be a good time to short. Firstly, that's their thoughts, right? Secondly, there's a lot of pessimism out there right now, which creates bottoms. And thirdly, look what the market is actually talking to us, guys. Remember, not us, right? The market. What is simple trend analysis? Right, remember this, guys. What is and let's keep it really simple. The trend is your friend until the end, right? And this is very, very simple, but we must understand this. If the trend is going down, and then suddenly we come back up, we're actually making these lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and lower highs. The market is going down. So the trend at that time is what? It's down. I don't care what I think, what I hope for. If we come up and make a higher high through here, we are no longer in a downward trend. And what happens most of the time, not all the time, what can happen is that we end up doing this, coming back down through there, right? And we continue to trend. What can also happen is that we actually come back down, create a higher low. Hey, Thomas. Create a higher low, and then we actually start to see an upward trend. And then we create what? And then we get this higher low through here. So if we actually look at the stock market right now, look what's actually happening, right? Based off what the market is talking to us. The market is saying what? Look, here, low. We had this, what? We had this high here. Then we have this low. We had this higher high. So we could be getting ready for what? We could be getting ready to have a higher low soon. And then a breaking out of that level through there. If we go to the S&P 500, look what the S&P 500 is actually doing right now. Let me take that off the screen. Where is that? There we go. Take it off the screen. So if we look at the S&P 500, look what's actually happening right now. We're actually slightly making higher lows, right? So we had this major low through here. We had this major low. Let's take everything off the screen here for a minute. Right, let's actually take everything off the screen here for a minute. And let's just say this. So if we have an upward trend, right? Yes, we have an upward trend like this, and that's an upward trend. But what can happen sometimes is that the market will come up, it'll come down almost to there, and then it'll come back up again. Right? And then it'll go back up again like that. So if you have, say, a 50% line, you might have say, a 50 to 60% retracement might actually be through there. Right through there. That might be the 50 to 60% retracement. I hope you get what I'm saying here, right? So they generally say that when the market goes up and then it pulls back, but it pulls back 50% or less, let's just call this here the 50% line, right? Actually, let's do this here. Let's just say, for example, that through there, just say that there was the 50% line through there, right? That was the 50% line. They always say when the market comes down 50% or less and then continues, it's very, very, very strong, right? It's very, 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 very strong in the markets. So therefore it's likely to continue. But if we start to come back down like this point through here, it's actually not that strong. The buyers, yes, we're in an upward trend. We're still in an upward trend, but the buyers are not that strong. But what can happen is that this may now be 50% of this move through here. We may now get just a short-term pullback, not even get to the 50% and start to do that, and then actually see something like that. Why? Because the buyers came in here compared to this low here. So they weren't really eager through here. They didn't come in a lot faster this time. But what ended up happening? This time, they actually came in a lot faster. This one here retraced almost 100% of the move, maybe 80% of it. This one retraced less than 50% and the buyers started to come back in and started to pick it back up. What does that mean? It means that the buyers are starting to become much more eager in the market. Again, guys, this is simple trend analysis. By the way, guys, in that free trading course, this is a lot what I talk about, right? Is like you get so much information from the chart itself. Most people are looking at indicators, right? Most people are saying, what's the indicator say? What's the indicator say? What's the indicator say? Right? That's what I'm saying, guys, is that my trading is no indicators or one moving average. But most of my trading is done off the market because the market is talking to us. Where's the buyers? Where's the sellers? Again, this is now understanding trend analysis even more, right? And when we actually start to get here, 50% retracement. And again, this here might be the big old 50 through here. When we get that 50% or less and the buyers start to come back in, it's really, 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 really strong, right? Very strong. This is when we start to see, the buyers are very eager to come back in, right? The market is talking to us, not us. Who cares about us? Who cares about me? The buyers are coming, it's like, the market's very, very strong here. So the purpose of me bringing that up is that because if we use that exact same analysis right now, look what's happening here. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to stay here, but we're starting to get the buyers here. Look at this here. We had the low. So we do have Fibonacci levels. That's actually from here to here. So we go from this low point to this high point, and look what happened. It came down to where? See how it came down right on 50% and then continued, right? 50% or less, and it's likely to continue very strong. Now let's go to the next one here. This one here, this one here. Look what happened. It actually retraced a lot less, didn't it? It actually almost retraced 100%. Not very strong here. We don't have a lot of strong movement here. Now look what also happened. Right? The banana. That's right, the banana. Yeah. Guys, give me one in the chat box if you like the banana. If you like the banana in my last few updates. I have no idea where I got that from. I guess this is the banana. You got the banana. I like the banana. Anyway, So by looking at the latest move here, guys, right? Looking at the latest move, guess what we got here? We've actually got a less than, so far, a less than 50% retracement. And the buyers are starting to come back in here now. I wanted the banana. So do I, Thomas. So do I. I like the banana as well too. Because when we do get the banana, guess what? It's a strong trend. And what is rule number one? That's right, the trend. And what is rule number one? The trend is your friend. And if we have good, strong trend, like we do right now, guess what? Trying to short the market, your ego is getting involved right now. You're trying to go against what the market is telling you. You're not smarter than the market. Don't fight it. If you're short right now, hoping this thing is going to drop, you are literally fighting the market. You're going to get your face ripped off. 8 times out of 10. And that 1 or 2 times out of 10 you do get it right, guess what? You're probably only going to make a small amount of money. Flip it on its head. If we know the trend is your friend until the end, if the market right now is in a strong upward trend and you're a trader of the market, guess what? Then we need to follow with that. And this is just more, this is going trend analysis, but it's taking that, but it's understanding trend even more when it comes to understanding these markets here, right? And so that's why I say where we are right now, that look at this here. That's where the banana is right there, right? Des, you bad man. Screw you, Des. I forgot about the banana. I was focusing more on just looking at the market. So the banana came back today. There you go. Des, you have Des to blame. So that's what I see right there, guys, right? That's what I see what's happening through there on the stock market. So that's why I'm saying on this big picture here, that if we do keep holding here, guys, guess what? It is on like Donkey Kong. And so what we want to be doing, guys, is that there could be incredible opportunities. If we start to break out and look for a big bull move, don't fight it. Do not fight this. Right? Because whatever you're thinking right now, the market's saying, no. Right? We're not there yet. But if you're looking at your stochastics, your RSI, your Elliott waves, and all this sort of stuff, there could be a fifth of the fifth of the fifth of the third of the third, and the A's and the B's and the C's all combined to one to create the alphabet, back over again. I think that's actually, it's like, right? So that's the whole thing, right? That's what we're actually looking at there in the markets here. That's what we're looking at in the markets. We're actually seeing that. So again, guys, this higher low here right now is definitely is telling us something. It really is telling us something. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at there from that there. Looking at the Dow Jones as well. Looking at that there. Looking even at the Nasdaq. Look at the Nasdaq, guys. The Nasdaq's doing, what is the Nasdaq doing? The Nasdaq is beautiful. Look, it didn't even get to the banana. The banana said no, Remember I said before, 50% retracement? Look at the buyers are coming back in right now. 50% or less. Remember I said before, guys, is that there's trend analysis, right? You have different types of trends here. And let me just walk you through this here. Right? Actually, in fact, guys, let me actually show you this. Oh, actually, I'll do this here on this sort of thing here, right? So you have trend analysis, but then now you have deeper trend analysis. Okay, let's go through this here. Right. So firstly, obviously we have a trend that if we have an upward trend like that, the trend is your friend, right? But there's a couple of different types of trends here. So the first one is up and then down, almost 100% of the move. This is going to be called a weak upward trend, right? Weak upward trend. Then we have a strong upward trend, which it comes up. And then we have that's that 50 to 60% retracement line. Then guess what happens? Then we actually pull back, to the banana. I tell you what, guys, it works, right? It really does work. Does not like the banana. Yes, it does. Or actually, it's running away from the banana. That's a good thing, right, Thomas? Especially if you're long, right? I mean, the buyers are like, I don't want to go to the banana. I don't want to slip. Let's keep going. So if that's what you're referring to, then yes, I agree. It does not like the banana. So, but if we come down to 50% retracement and then what? And then we continue up, that's actually a pretty strong move. But then we have weak and then we have strong and then we have like really strong. like a really strong bull market, is when the market comes up, we get the 50 to 60% retracement, the banana, right? The market actually pulls back a little bit, but just does that on you and then continues up. Oh, ho, ho. That's actually what? Showing you really strong. RS is really strong. This is just strong. This is weak, right? So, because what is it doing, guys? It's just showing us what? It's just showing us when are the buyers coming back into these markets? The buyers came in here, so they weren't very eager. Right? Buyers came in here, so they weren't very eager. Buyers came in here, they became a lot more eager very, very quickly. Buyers came in here, so they became eager really, really quickly. So again, guys, right? LG just said something. GDP is falling and supposed to go long. Ha ha ha. That's where you're thinking, right? You're thinking, LG, right? You're thinking right now is that you think that just because that happened, the stock market's not going to go up. Remember, the stock market is forward thinking, guys, right? Stock market is forward thinking. Look at COVID. Look at the COVID crash. We had the COVID crash at what? The start of 2020. When did things really become haywire in the economy? The middle of 2020, towards the end of 2020. Interesting. Then guess what? The stock market went through an incredible bull market. Then what happened to the economy? 3, 6 months later, 9 months later, we went through a booming in the economy. We've now had a pullback for the last one or so years in the markets. And so what's been happening for the last, say, 6 to 12 months? We have been what? We've been getting a pullback in the markets. So the stock market will generally rally, just like it did in 2020, right? It rallies first, and then the economy. That's why, guys, if you're trying to make logic of the economy and apply that to the stock market, you're always going to be backwards. And LG, man, that's where your thinking is probably thinking, well, that's going to happen, right? Because that simply means that this here, right? And let's actually use that analogy. I've used this analogy a few times. If you go back to the S&P 500, because I know this, because I actually went long the markets, this is the COVID crash here, right? This is the COVID crash. When did they announce lockdowns? Round about here. That's when they announced lockdowns. When did they announce stimulus? Around about here somewhere through there. Right? But when the lockdown happened, guess what? The market already came down low. Oh my goodness, lockdown, the market's going to crash. It already had. Then guess what happened? We went through an incredible bull market. And then later on, guess what happened to the economy? We entered an incredible bull market, okay? So in bottoms and tops in markets, they come from the opposite to what we think. Maximum fear in the markets creates bottoms. Maximum greed in the markets creates tops. Maximum fear, there's actually a lot of fear. That's why I'm saying, guys, right now we need to be alert to this process here. Right? I'm not saying that this is definitely going to go up here, guys, but we need to see the breakout first. But I'm saying that this is a high probability of this thing going up because there's so many people still negative at the markets. You're getting everyone coming out there saying how bad this market is. Right? And all I'm saying, guys, is don't miss out on what could be an incredible, massive bottoming pattern. And we could see we could see another incredible bull move, just like we did back here in the COVID days from 2020 to 2022. We could be getting something like that again for the next, say, 6 to 12 months. And then we may then roll over. But don't bark that off, guys, right? Because you can ignore, again, guys, what I'm teaching you here is I'm teaching you a bit of a big picture analysis, which is what the herd mentality is talking about. And then I'm bringing it down to short-term technical analysis and saying, what is the market telling us? And right now, the market's saying, hey, we're pretty strong. So the trend is your friend until the end. So if you are a trader of the markets, rule number 1 is your trend. And you can fight against that as much as you like, but I promise you guys, you will lose. So just go with the trend. And even if you just use simple trend analysis, your success rate is going to be what? 60, 70%? Just by using simple trend analysis. Then when you start to overlay some really other rules like I do, you can really start to get into that 80-90% win-loss ratio. And that's when it becomes really fun. Really, really fun. So throw your ego out the window, right? Alrighty. Let me know if you have any questions there, guys. And that's what I wanted to cover with you guys today. And that's where like even things like looking out silver, right? Silver is just one of those things that's just like, we're in a nice strong big bull move in silver right now. Same with gold. Like look at gold. Beautiful, beautiful bull market move. So look at this. Just look at this beautiful high low through here. Coming back up. Now look what's happening. We're just going sideways. We're not even getting a 50% retracement. Where's the banana? Where's the banana? The banana. Damn you, Des. Let's say, where's the banana on this one here? Oh, look at that there. Look at there. 50%. 50% or less. Big, strong move up. Aha. Yeah, you're actually right. Phil and Wright said it won't last 6 to 12 months, more like 3 to 6 months. And you may be right. You may be right. We'll let the market do the talking. Because if the market's going to start to come down, we'll start to roll over. We'll start to go into a bit of a downward trend. So right now, look at this here. The banana's right here. 50% retracement for you guys that are brand new to the markets. Brand new to us. It's like, who is this idiot? Right? Look at that there. So what's happening now is, as you can see, we're not even getting down there. Right? So, so that's what's happening with gold. And that's like gold's not even getting down to the 50% retracement level. We're in a very strong bull market here on gold. So don't fight it. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just go with it and make some money. Don't fight the markets, right? Someone said to me a while ago that they saw NVDA, and they saw NVIDIA, NVDA. There we go. I'll get it right one day. But look at NVIDIA. What was NVIDIA doing? As soon as NVIDIA did what? Came straight up, higher low. Look at this here. And then broke these highs. Guess what? Now big bull market in trend. So if you're trying to short the market, you're trying to short it here, you're trying to short it here, and I know someone did. They bought put options here, bought put options here, bought put options here, bought put up, and they just kept buying put options all the way up because they thought the market, NVIDIA is going to crash. Aha, but what happened? Significant higher low right here is what? This point right here, and let's actually just do this here. This point right here is when we got an upward trend in place. And then guess what happened? Just go with it. Don't fight it. Right? So that's what we got there. That's what we got there. So again, guys, we don't want to be fighting the markets, right? We just simply we want to go with what the market's telling us, and it doesn't have to make sense, right? Right. But remember, guys, what I'm talking about here is the overall S&P 500. There's many things like, look at McDonald's here. If you had the exact same analysis on McDonald's, guess what? Look what McDonald's is doing. Remember I said before about the banana? Right? Look at this here. Let's take everything off the screen. Look at this here, guys. It came down what? Equal low, equal low, equal low. Look at this here. Remember I said before about, remember this chart here? Remember I said before, when it comes here, when they come in a lot quicker than a lot earlier than the 50% retracement, that's really strong. Shorten the video. You might be right for 1 or 2 days. But look at this here. From low to high, look what happened. Did they get to eat the banana? No. Why? Because they had a bigger fish to fry. It didn't quite get there, did it? And then look what happened. Look what's happened to McDonald's. Extraordinary move up to the upside. Why? Because of what I just walked you through a minute ago, right, guys? So what I'm talking about here, and this is just going based off trend. You know, guys, if you really go into the trading systems where I start to talk about things like price and time and good entry bars and so on and so forth, you really start to supercharge your results when it comes to that. And that's where, guys, if you need that help, grab that free trading course, or link in the description there, johnsfreegift.com. Or if you do Or if you actually would like to talk to me personally, so I can personally walk you through the Super Trader formula, I've got one spot left for that. Then go to johnsstf.com. Again, and I'll actually personally walk you through the formula and actually help you through the step-by-step process you need to follow in order to become successful. And that's that second link in the description through there. But as you can see, guys, right, I'm just talking about one technique here, which is trend. And there's so much information from the chart itself. Guess what most people are doing? Oh, John, what's the indicator saying? What's the indicator saying? What's the indicator saying? And then you're getting so confused. But look at this here, right? Look at this here. Stochastics, what? Oversold. What's happening to the RSI? Oversold. And you're like, oh my goodness. I actually want to go short here. Or I don't want to be long this market. But then guess what happens? Look at McDonald's go up. That's why I don't use stochastics and MACDs and RSIs, guys. This is how I trade. Like this. One moving average. Actually, most of the time, I'm trading it like this. And do you notice I have not once mentioned the volume down here? So really, guys, what am I doing? I'm trading what? Just off this here. Why? Why? Because I just went through one of my 5 rules that I look at. And there's so much power just in this, and that's actually my rule number 1 in my trading system that I trade. And as you can see, right, just understanding this rule number 1, which is trend, and going deep into this stuff, going real deep, y'all. You can really start to put the advantage on you, and you can start to see where are the buyers, where are the sellers, what's going on, what's happening with the markets here, right? And you really can start to supercharge. Now, again, in my personal trading system, again, this is rule number 1, and then you start to look at just like looking at the proper pullbacks, what you look for, proper breakaway bars. It's just like, oh, amazing, absolutely amazing, right, guys? Incredible system that I trade. But I've been trading it now for a long time, so I know it's an incredible system. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about there, guys. Let's actually go through some questions here. Let's actually see, yep, struggling right now after doing so well. Yep. Telemoto, I totally get, man, you got to go through the process, right? Again, if you do need some help, get that Super Trader formula. Basically, with the Super Trader formula, guys, what that is when you go over there right now, johnsstf.com, again, I've got one spot left. What that is that firstly, I'm going to send you a whole bunch of trading, a whole bunch of free training to help you with the trading. Secondly, what you're going to do is you're going to actually then be able to book a call with me. And on that call, I'm going to find out your story, where you are, and then I'm gonna see where do you fit within the formula. You may be on step number 1. You may be not even getting step number 1. So forget numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Etc. on the formula, because you may not even know where you are right now. Again, it's taken me almost 20 years to figure that formula out. And so I'll be able to sit down with you personally. Okay, then this is where you are right now, and this is what you need to be focusing on. First step, third step, fourth step, and really understanding it. And that whole process, guys, I promise you, when you start to, if you can follow this formula to a T, you will make more progress in the next 3 months than you have in the last 3 years. I promise you that. And that's what the whole formula really is all about. And again, I personally walk you through that because everyone is different. Everyone's coming from a different place. Everyone is at a different situation financially and so on and so forth. So therefore, yes, I have the formula, but I want to see but then I see where you are, what you've done, what you're trying to do, and then I bring up the formula, but I fit your story into the formula to help you continue those steps to making sure you become successful long term. Not spending year after year after year after year going backwards and spinning your wheels, but really condensing that down and taking what's taken me almost 20 years to figure out and bring it down to you in a phone call, at least in a blueprint. And then that's obviously, and my personal coaching, is basically is taking what's taken almost 20 years for me to figure out and condensing that down into months, decades into months, basically. But the Super Trader formula is for free, guys, but I've got one spot left for that. Moving from there. So that's what I want to talk about there. Short GE. Let's go have a look at GE here. Short GE. Right. Yep, you listened to everything I just said, didn't you? Look at this here, guys. Oh, well, remember I said before, guys? What? The trend is what? The trend is your friend? Look at this here. Look what was happening here on GE. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Trend is down. Look what happened here. Slight what? Slide higher high. Trend is over. Downtrend is over. We're not getting lower highs anymore. Had a low. Look at this here. What's that? That is what? A slight higher low. Are the buyers strong there? Not really that strong. Look at this here. Higher high. Now let's go to the Fibonacci level from the low to the high move. I'm using this on, again, from the low to the high move. Look what happened here. That's where the banana was. GE didn't like the banana as well. Look what happened. The buyers came in just slightly over 50%, just slightly over, almost 50%. And then guess what happened? The bull market continued. So when you're seeing this, and then you start to see it break above these highs up here, you're like, why would I want to be short this thing? Why not go with the market? Go with the trend. The buyers, the market's talking to us. And then away we go again, right? And that's where, guys, simple analysis. I promise you, if you just trade with the trend and then wait for some form of a pullback like this here, you'll do really well out of it. This rally today was backed up by tech earnings best, but GDP was horrible, wasn't it? I am still really bearish. Vendetta. Throw your ego out the window, man. It's not about, you're still bearish because you're based on what you think, right? Where is the evidence? Where is you modeling success that says when GDP is horrible for a long time, the stock market crashes? Because we want to model success, right? Let's actually model success. Or is that just your thought? Is that just what? Remember, YouTube videos, guys, are just YouTube videos, and they're there to get clickbait. Oh my goodness, horrible news. Market's gonna crash. But is that actually backed up by factual evidence? Meaning, there's that when that happens in history, when we get horrible news on the GDP, that means the market's gonna crash. And on the back of that, how can you use that as a trading system? Remember, guys, we want to be doing something that we can repeat for the rest of our lives. How can you take that, and if you did short the market right now and made money off that, how can you then repeat that for the rest of your life? We don't want to be hoping, wishing, washing, or guessing these markets. Guess what? No, we want a repeatable system that we can trade year after year after year and crush it in these markets. But then also understanding how you're thinking, how you're approaching these markets. What is the flow of success throughout the year as a trader? What does that actually really look like? Right? Your patience, your discipline, all that sort of stuff that goes outside of the system as well too. Let's have a look here. Oh, man. Let's actually see here. So let's actually go through some more questions here. So the Hurst cycle and up cycle minimum target for 80 days FLD. Oh, my goodness. Let's actually keep it really simple, guys. Why do we have to complicate it? Rule number one, what's the trend? If we're in a strong upward trend, that's all that matters. When we start to change that, we change that. Now, when I say trend, guys, we also must understand, again, the rules of trend. What are the rules of trend? Right? The rules of trend simply states this, that we go for a move for a while, and then we inevitably get a pullback. And then we go for a move for a while, then we inevitably get a pullback. These legs here and here tend to be much greater and longer than these legs here and here. So just understand that, right? Yes, we go up for a while, but we are never be going to get a pullback. But the trend hasn't changed. Up, pullback, up, pullback, up, pullback. Trend is what? Up. So we must understand that. So like GE could have a possibility of having a bit of a pullback. But it's probably just got to be part of what? Part of just an upward trend. We may get a pullback down to 90, looking at this level here. And then away we go. You may be short this, thinking this thing's going to crash, and then, yeah. The banana. The bubble has 1929 all over it. Love your work, though, John, 99% of the time. Hey, James, man, I'm just talking about... James, what I'm talking about here, man, my man, is trade in the markets, right? What you're applying right now is what you think. This has 1929 all over it, and you may be right. You may be wrong as well too. What we need to be doing as a trader, James, is guess what? Listening to the market. If the market's in an upward trend, just go with it. And if it stops being an upward trend, just go with it. It really is that simple. And again, if this is 1929 and you think the market's going to crash, it may crash. But it may take another few more months, and you're out of the game waiting for this market to crash, trying to make that money on the downside. But the market's saying, "Hang on a minute, we're gonna have some upward movement first." Hi John, what's your thoughts on SLR? Let's have a look at this here. SLR, Silver Lakes. I guess it's an Aussie stock, I'm guessing. Let me have a look here. Again, guys, don't complicate it. You don't have to complicate the trading, okay? This stock or this stock or this stock. If you're a trader of the markets, guys, remember, trading in the market is all about having a system and a process that you follow the same thing every day. It's not like, well, 1929 crash happened this way, and this looks same now, so I'm going to short the market. Let's just say you're right by having that analogy, 1929, and you make $1 million today. Okay, now show me how you just spent all that time. Show me now for the rest of your life you can be set. You can be set for the rest of your life and make money every single year based off that. You can't, right? Because trading the market successfully is not about what you think or what you're hoping for. Trading the market successfully is about having a system and a pattern and a process and an approach to these markets that is just the same thing day in, day out. Day in. When I trade the markets, guys, guess what? I'm looking for the same thing every day. And then when you start to do that, guess what? You start to just crush the market. You start to do really well. It's not based off what you think. Let's go have a look at this here. So SLR, Silver Lakes. Oh, so yeah, it is actually an Aussie stock. So this is the Aussie stock here. What are my thoughts? My thoughts is that the market is down at the moment. Yeah, so Silver Lakes, we're actually down at the moment, so we're in a big downward trend. But by looking at this here, if we start to break above this level right here, then it's then the bull market will be over. Like the bear market will be over. But right now, that's what we're getting. Yeah, we're probably getting that level through there. So that $1.50 level, that's what I say through there. Thomas says, yeah, when I followed the news. You know why, Thomas? That's when I lost about 30 to 40% in the past. Exactly why. You know why, Thomas? Because the news is always late. You can't trade the news. People think this, right? And this again, guys, this is where like I'm saying, like, you know, with me, I'm bringing 19 years of experience. I can teach you that. The news is already coming after the damage has been done. When the market crashes a lot and it's probably getting close to the bottom, guess what? They're going to come out and say, oh my goodness, it's so bad, big crash. And you're like, cool, let's go long. But most people out there are not contrarian thinkers. So then guess what? They actually end up thinking, oh my goodness, the market's going to keep going down. I better get into it now. But it's actually the opposite. This happened so many times. Actually, I had one of my mentors always said, I always watch the news, even though I don't believe in what they say most of the time. I'm always waiting for these things. So if they see like a really, really positive news, or they see like they maybe 6 months from now, 12 months from now, they see like a really dire strait, like, oh my goodness, 60% of people underwater from the properties, you know, the market's going to foreclosures, bad, property market, bad. And they see this for a couple of weeks. Guess what they're doing? This is what he used to do. Then he must go in there and start to look at buy property. I do have the reversal feeling, like seemingly the charts are the basis and news following up later. Exactly right. Fed can't print money anymore because of inflation. Really? You think? Really? LG? Okay, cool. Again, let's actually bring this back. Is that based off what you think, or is that based off factual evidence? Now, if you want to know what the Fed's going to do when it comes to printing of money, look at the last 500 years. Look at Mark Belotti's Hidden Secrets of Money. Read Ray Dalio's The New World Order. And you will start to see that guess what? Governments always continue to print money into the oblivion. They're not going to stop printing money. It's like they can't do any more money, so that means the market's going to go down. No, they're going to find a way, right? John, GDXJ, I believe, is about to reverse. Really? The GDXJ is about to reverse. I'm thinking you're saying to the upside. Is that what you're saying there, Thomas, if you're still in? Are you talking about like to the upside? Because when we're looking at the 15-minute chart on GDX, we're actually still going down. Yes, or we're still making lower highs, man. So possibly. Look at that. Right, possibly. Now, this is the 15-minute chart. I wouldn't really focus too much on the 15-minute chart. But looking at the daily chart, yes. Yes, the GDXJ is probably going to start to move up here soon. And by looking at this here, let's take that off the screen through there. And by looking at this through here, I do believe, and this is what I've actually said all the time, that we're probably going to find a low here and we're going to start to really pick back up. And then when we break out of this, guys, this next leg up is hot. So we may get more downside to come here, a little bit more, Thomas, I believe. Right, we may end up getting to the banana. Right, the banana we may actually come down and eat the banana for a while to get a bit more fuel. Actually, I had a banana and some peanut butter just before I did this session because I'm about to head off to the gym and do my strength training session today. So, talking about bananas, I had a banana with a peanut butter, a bit of a pre-workout there. So that's what we see through there, guys. Right, that's what we see. So, yes, you are right, Thomas, that I do see that. And I do see, even if we do get a bit more downside, I do see that once we hold here, especially if we do hold here now and start to break back up to break above $45, then guess what? We are about to see, it is on like Donkey Kong. It's on. And we're about to see, and maybe guys, and this is what I'm saying, like don't be too surprised because these markets are setting up to having really big moves. The charts are telling us this, guys. The markets are talking to us. And again, as a trader, when we're getting in and getting out on a short-term basis from a few days to a few weeks or more, you cannot use fundamentals on that. Never. You cannot use fundamentals on that. Because that's not you want to have something that you can repeat for the rest of your life, guys. That's what I want for you. And that's what I teach my private clients, right? That's when, if you ever become a private client of mine, you know I teach you one solid foundational system that you become so good at that when you stick it to for the rest of your life, you can repeat and have a good trading career. That's what it's about, right? It's not about, well, let's actually guess when it's a good time to get in. Let's hope this is a good time. Like, no. I know when's a good time to get in. Doesn't mean I make money every time. No. And when I do have losses, they're small losses. Again, this week, what have I had? I've had 2 trades, right? This week, actually this whole year, I've had over 95% success rate this year. This week, I've had 2 trades, and I actually got out of them today. One was just above break even, so call it a break even trade, and then the other trade gave me an 80% return on my risk. So, guys, you can do well, but guess what? Those systems, the exact same thing. And guess what? Tomorrow when I look at the markets, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to look at the exact same system, the exact same process, the exact same setup. It's not about me being lucky. Well, the GDP and this and that and this and that and this. No, guys. Let's build your confidence up so you can repeat something for the rest of your life and you can rely on that for an income throughout the year. Right? I want you guys to do so well. Des said, love this, really miss my coaching sessions. Well, come on down, Des. Come on down. Email me, Des, and because you've been a past client of mine, email me and I might be able to give you, I'll give you like a really, really awesome special deal if you want to come back into the coaching this year. So just email me, man. You've been part of my coaching in the past, so I'll give you like a really, really awesome deal just for you, just to allow you to come back in the program for the rest of this year if you want to be part of it. Short Nvidia, yeah. Basically, you're trading in this example on the collection of price action only. Thomas, no. Remember I said before, what I'm talking about here is just one rule for me personally, right? For me personally, I'm teaching trend analysis here. Trend for me is rule number 1 out of 5 rules. Most of my rules do come from the chart itself. Because guess what? The chart is the main thing we should be focusing on. Because we actually trade the chart, right? We don't trade indicators. We trade the chart. The indicators could be saying, we're oversold. It's not going to keep going higher. And it keeps going up and up and up. It's like, we're oversold. You're not going to keep going higher. And it keeps going up and up. I've been doing this for 19 years, guys. If I knew there was something better, then that's for me personally, then I would actually teach that. Thoughts on IWM? Yeah, IWM is still one of those weak ones. IWM is still one of those markets, right, that is just still really, really, really weak. So we probably have something going on through there. We definitely have something possibly going on through there, I would say. So yeah, this is actually really weird, this one. This is it's very, very, we're actually getting a lot more bearishness out of the IWM than anything else. So really, really, really interesting. All right, Tyler. Only if you say please, Tyler. If you say pretty please, John, and by the way, I like bananas. If you say that, then I'll give you my update on TMF. All right. Pretty please, John, and yes, I like bananas. Tell me that, just to write that, and then I will answer your question today. Hey John, what would you recommend for making big gains in the markets? Cardio or lifting weights? What? Making big gains in the markets is actually understanding what type of setup that you should look for that actually make big gains most of the time. That's what you should be doing for. Now, by the way, cardio or lifting weights, I think if you can do both, but for me personally, I'm not about putting on a lot of muscle. I actually like cardio. So I do cardio sometimes 2-3 times a week. Like I went to the gym this morning and I did a little bit of cardio. Now this is for me because I live in Australia, right? So I went to the gym this morning at 4 o'clock this morning. Did a little bit of cardio, come back, do my trading. I'm now going to go back to the gym to do a strength training session and some more cardio. And then who knows, depending on how I feel this afternoon for me, I might go do a run. That's what I did yesterday. I did that. And then also yesterday afternoon, I went and did a 45-minute, actually it's about an 8K run. It takes me about 45 minutes to do. Just a nice slow jog on the road. So I'm not sure. Actually, today I bought 1 kilo of bananas. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Fantastic, Tyler. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So what I see with TMF, right, is that TMF right now is pulling back, right? Yes, we are pulling back through here. But the TMF position is what? The TMF position is based off the cycles that's going to happen over the next year and a half, which simply means what? We're probably likely to see those interest rates start to come down over the next year and a half. It's not about today. It's not about right now, right? I am long the TMF. Because as we get deeper and deeper and deeper into the recession, which might be this year, it might be next year, guess what's going to happen? The overall interest rates are going to come back down again, right? So the rates will start to come back down. Let's go have a look at this here, right? So we have the 30-year here, and then say the 10-year here. So the rates will start to come back down at some point over the next year and a half, and when that happens, TMF is going to go up. Doesn't mean it's going to happen now. So the next short term, the next month or two, interest rates might go back up again and TMF goes down. That's what the TMF is all about. It's not about saying, oh, I hope it goes up today. Right? No, right? We just know probably by the end of 2024, if I look back from 2024, looking back, that interest rates would have come down. Might be now. It might be 3 months from now that it starts to happen. Who knows? By the end of 2024, looking back, interest rates have come down. TMF, TLT's had a nice move to the upside and I've made some nice profits. So it's really that simple. Really, Murray? Oh, really? He's lying to you all. His intention is to increase the number of people join his courses. He wants you to rely on his advice. Really? No, my man. Really? You could not do anything with me at all. Not even check out my free trading course. By the way, the free trading course is free and there's a lot of information in there to help you become a much better trader. You could not buy anything from me. I teach you to become right? You could actually just learn what I've actually taught you in this free video today, not do anything with my company and start to become a much better trader. There you go. So, oh, really? Okay, cool. Well, Des has actually been a past coaching client of mine, and he says the course works, mate. So there you go. Solid advice, inverse to what he says. Really? Cool. Okay. Well, if that's what you think, then cool. Trade against the trend then, right? You don't have to do anything with me, Murray. Do the opposite of what I say. Trade against the trend, what I've been talking about today, and you tell me how you go. You tell me how you go. All right, cool. You just trade against the trend. So, is there any more questions there, guys? Oh, really? Here's the biggest thing, okay? So Murray said, again, you can learn a lot, but you don't need his coaching. That's right, you don't. But guess what? Every single successful person needs someone there, right? Because guess what? Trading successful in the markets, Murray, is not about techniques. I can teach you a trading system, but then it all comes back down to how you're thinking about the markets, how you're approaching the markets, how you even think about trading successfully long-term in the market, your discipline, your patience. That's where the coaching comes involved with it. It helps you with all that area when it comes down to your trading, not the trading system. Trading system's the easy part. It's all the other part that most people get wrong, and supposedly you as well too, because you trade against the trend, right? And you make all this money. Man, I've been getting this wrong the whole time. Damn. I guess me and my private clients, by the way, Murray, who are having a phenomenal trading career, a phenomenal trading year, by the way, and people that trade with me live every day know this fact, are doing really well from the trades that I personally take. And they've been following along with me. So, good on you, Murray. Anyway, guys, let's actually see through here. So, thank you, John, for your time. I learned a lot from you. Fantastic, Mohammed. No problem. Sleep well at night when... Yeah, okay, cool. Warren Buffett should donate Coca-Cola shares. Yeah. Bingo! Alrighty, traders. Well, that is it for me today. I will catch you guys probably tomorrow, guys.